A high-profile civil rights case headed to court tomorrow involving the polygamous towns of Colorado City and Hildale, Utah. And both towns are accused of discriminating against people who live in the community who are not members of the FLDS Church. Mike Watkis has a look at what they're accused of doing over the past several decades, Mike.
Yeah, a blockbuster civil rights lawsuit slated to begin in Phoenix's federal court tomorrow. The U.S. Justice Department taking on the FLDS-controlled towns of Hildale, Utah, and Colorado City, Arizona. In the suit, the feds allege the municipal governments of Colorado City and Hildale, the utilities, and the police department persecute and discriminate against the community's residents who are not members of the FLDS Church and followers of Warren Jeffs. It's a potentially history-making lawsuit that in many ways reads like the cliff notes of stories that we've been telling for nearly 2 decades.
They want us out of here so bad that they're escalating to violence. I'm afraid for my life. I'm screaming. I don't know what's going to happen.
They're way out of control.
Please don't push me over.
They're bullies.
Don't touch me.
Move. It's a huge group of bullies.
For many years, we have told the stories of alleged abuses inside the twin border towns of Hildale, Utah, and Colorado City, Arizona. Many of those stories involving the FLDS cops from the town marshal's office.
My understanding is that you are a sworn police officer in both the state of Utah and the state of Arizona, and that you have teenage brides and perhaps impregnated this young woman when it would be a statutory rape.
I understand many of the law officers have young wives.
Well, I'm not going to comment on that. That's personal business, and you talk about your personal business.
I'm not married to teenage girls.
Neither am I.
Okay, are any of your officers?
No, they are not.
None of them. None of the law officers in this town are married.
Actually, I'll make no comment on that.
We have also confronted officials about the well-documented abuses of women and children in the church-run community, with its long history of underage polygamous marriages. And we have watched as many of the FLDS law officers over the years have lost their badges because of misconduct.
So let me ask you a question. Who is your allegiance to? The law of the land or to Warren Jeffs?
The whole town is run by FLDS members.
We have also told countless stories about the many non-FLDS residents in Colorado City, victimized by their FLDS neighbors, by FLDS community leaders, and even the FLDS-controlled public utilities that refuse power and water hookups to non-FLDS families, all while taking their marching orders from FLDS polygamous prophet Warren Jeffs, despite the fact that Jeffs is now locked up for life in a Texas prison for the rape of 2 young girls ages 12 and 15.
I am hesitating while I'm giving this message as the Lord dictates these words to my mind and heart.
They're taking orders from a pedophile that's sitting in prison for the rest of his life for raping little girls.
But now lawyers with the U.S. Justice Department headed to Phoenix's federal court to put just these kinds of stories on the record and before a jury in a civil rights lawsuit against the towns of Colorado City and Hildale, alleging discrimination by the 2 FLDS-controlled towns against their non-FLDS residents.
The public deserves to know what's happening, and I know that you've been trying to get the public to know what's happened for years and years and years and years, you know? And this is a big deal for whatever comes out in court for it to be public record.
Yeah, on the record, that last woman speaking there, Ginger Cook, and her husband, Ron, have been the subjects of many of our stories over the years, and they will likely be prominent players in this civil rights lawsuit. We're going to hear more from Ron and Ginger coming up at 6 as this potentially history-making lawsuit is about to begin tomorrow. I'm Mike Watkis, 3TV.
Incredible reporting tonight, Mike. Thank you. For the next 4 years, you're going to be able to use your Arizona drive